Once upon a time, there were three friends who always got together to celebrate National Pretzel Day. And this year was no different. They went to their usual restaurant and they decided to order this amazing deal they had going on, which is if you buy 10 pretzels, you get 2 extra ones for free. So they ordered this huge plate of pretzels, meaning there are 12 in total. And since they're all equally hungry, they had to think about a way to share this in a fair manner. So they decided to take one each, one by one, so that nobody gets more and nobody gets less. So we're going to notice that each of them now have 4 pretzels in their bowls. Now, what's a mathematical expression we could use to represent the number of pretzels each person has and relate them to the number of pretzels they ordered? Well, one way we could do this is by using fractions. Now you're going to see there are 2 numbers here that make up a fraction. And the first number, the number on the top, represents the number of pretzels each person has. And the number on the bottom represents the number of pretzels that they ordered. Now in fractions, there's a specific term for these. The top number, we call that the numerator. And the bottom number, we call that the denominator. So how do we properly read fractions? Well, for most cases, the top number, or the numerator, we just read as it is. And the denominator, we have to add a THS to the end of the word. So for this fraction, we would read it as 4/12. So now they've all waited long enough, and you can tell Pikachu is very angry from waiting. He wants to eat these pretzels right away. In fact, he wants to eat them all at once, so he decides to stack all the pretzels together. Seeing what a great idea this was, Winnie the Pooh and Charlie Brown decided to stack their pretzels together as well. If they had one big stack and just took a bite of it, they could eat their pretzels that much quicker. But unfortunately, we're going to have to take another break because let's figure out what fraction we could use to represent this. The fraction we could use is 1/3, where the top number, the numerator, represents the number of stacks each person has. In this case, they all only have one stack. And the bottom number, the denominator, represents the total number of stacks on this table, which we can count as 1, 2, 3 stacks in total. Now here's the tricky part. Did the number of pretzels that they have increase, or did they decrease, or did they stay the same? Well, just because you stack pretzels together doesn't mean you have less pretzels, doesn't mean that you have more pretzels. You should have the same number of pretzels. So the 2 fractions we saw earlier were actually something we can call equivalent fractions, where in the beginning they had 4 pretzels each, 12 in total, and now they stacked them together, they have 1 stack each, 3 in total. And you're going to notice that they're equivalent because if we divide 4/12 by 4, we get 1/3, where the inverse is also true as we learned from the fact families. If we multiplied 1/3 by 4, both the numerator and the denominator, we get 4/12 back. And now that we have finished learning about how to use fractions, they can finally enjoy their meal. Until a mysterious hand comes in and takes a bite of the pretzels. It's kind of stale. I can see why they had a deal going on.